Que paso, Mufaso? Welcome to Sigma Lifestyle, courtesy of Project Expertise, where I'm the project. I'm about to give you the expertise. Sitting in with me, as always, from the UK, that is Wellington Pumpernickel. Over here in my ear, my number one producer, that is Dr. Bearstein. We are the team. Hope you have had a great weekend thus far. The time is 2 a.m., 2:23 a.m. Today's date is 12/14/2025. That is December 14th, 2025, live from Charlotte, North Carolina, Queen City of the South. I'm your host, Walt Diddy, your humble host sometimes, but I have a great show for you. Great show for you tonight. You should be wondering, what you talking about, Walt Diddy? What you talking about, Walt Diddy? Well, the answer is clear. AI wins in 2026 while millions lose their job. I know you much rather be entertained right now. You would prefer some celebrity gossip to make you feel better about your. I know, but you're not going to get it here. I am not an entertainer. I am an informer. I am going to give you information so you can do with it as thy will, as you do every day. Come on in and like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, or the notification bell just might hit you. I hope it does. If it does not, please let me know. Please let me know. Shout out to my friend and yours, Carlito. Shout out to Carlton for being in the house today. Appreciate it. He says, peace, Walt Diddy. I say shout out to Chocolate Bunny with her sweet and sugary self. Shout out to you, sweetness. Got a good show for you. Others will come in late, as they always do. We are on Colored People Time. That is CP time. Listen, here's the topic of this session. On this show, I do not wait around because I know you've seen the thumbnail and you're wondering, what you talking about, Walt Diddy? AI, artificial intelligence. Where are we with artificial intelligence? I know you're playing around with Chat GPT and other forms of artificial intelligence, but where are we now? Where are we in the state of the rise of artificial intelligence? I am so glad you asked. But before we get there, sir, ma'am, don't you skip this video. If you stay with me, I'm going to tell you why without a shadow of a doubt that AI wins in 2026 while millions lose their job, and it's nothing that you can do about it, but you can prepare yourself, and I'm going to help you get prepared right now. The first order of business. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, are you aware of what capitalism is? Capitalism is absolutely gone, as I told you in the show last night. Here's the definition of capitalism. You know, you hear a lot of, there ain't gonna be no socialist country, blah, 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 blah. Capitalism. I'm going to read so you don't have to. Capitalism is an economic system where private individuals, businesses, own the means of production, factory, land, resources, cows, milk, chicken, so on and so forth, and operate them for profit driven by market forces, supply and demand, with minimal government interference, and encouraging competition, innovation, and wealth accumulation, but also raising concerns about inequality and economic instability. That is capitalism. Capitalism is DOA. Donald John Trump successfully has destroyed capitalism, as he's been assigned to do, for the rise of artificial intelligence. And the first artificial intelligence thing that you need to know on this show, did you know that Disney is now in the artificial intelligence game? A big sector of unemployment will come in the form of content creators. The talking head, the celebrity gossip channels, spilling of said tea. Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney, has given OpenAI, ChatGPT, $1 billion of investment in order to enhance Sora. Now, you may have seen Sora around the net or on this channel when I showed you the AI images of Tupac Shakur and Marilyn Monroe and her Tibbo Bitties bouncing around, looking epic, I may add. Well, Disney is going to lend Sora characters from Marvel and Star Wars, not name and likeness, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to let Bob tell you, and then we're going to go on to Exhibit B. This is Exhibit A of AI is going to dominate. AI wins in 2026 while millions lose their job. First job losses that we're going to see is content creators. Tell them, Bob.
Of Sora to create their own, basically, videos using Sora and those characters. We are not including name and likeness, nor are we including character voices. And so, in reality, this does not in any way represent a threat to the creators at all. In fact, the opposite. I think it honors them and respects them, in part because there's a license fee associated with it.
Well, I think it's a very smart move by Disney and very forward-looking, and I think it has profound implications. I mean, they're putting a toe into the water of a whole new market area, which is user-generated content. I mean, people will be using AI to make their own movies, and so that's moving into the TikTok area, the YouTube area, the self-created content, and this gives Disney a toehold in there. They've also got a stake in AI. I can understand why the creative community is very worried about this. I mean, AI was already a threat. Now Disney has a stake in AI, and it's a big consumer of AI and will probably become an ever bigger consumer. There's no question that AI is going to displace a lot of content creators.
AI is going to displace a lot of content creators. What content do you make? I'm here to tell you in 2026 and beyond, you must make the content that's going to connect on the human level. This very presentation that I'm giving now, 2026, 2027, AI, ChatGPT, Sora will do a better job helping you with your problems and personal experiences. That's where the human connection is really going to come in effect, 2026 and beyond. But the first of the millions that will start losing their jobs around March of 2026, content creators, you're going to be replaced. You see that? That is an absolute movie camera. You're going to be replaced. Sorry, I didn't do it. Thank Bob Iger. Thank the tech giants. Thank the government. Moving on to Exhibit B. There's Exhibit B. Behind the deal that took Disney from AI skeptic to open AI investor of $1 billion. That's a lot of FEDIA. That's a lot of pesos. That's a lot of dollar bills, y'all, for investment. Meaning Disney sees into the future. If you have aspirations of being the next Disney kid star, teach your kids how to weld, plumb, something else. You're not going to be needed at the end of 2026, 27, and beyond. They're going to create these characters that don't need money, don't need food, do not need an agent. They're going to cut out the middle man. Let's move on to Exhibit C. Exhibit C on why AI will win in 2026 while millions lose their jobs. Data centers. As you're driving around on the highways and byways, as you're pulling up on somebody on the interstate or the freeways, look to your left, look to your right. You're probably thinking that is a new distribution center. Ha! It is a data center. Let's let this brother tell you.
Giant warehouses are popping up across the US, more than 2 every week. They feed AI algorithms, store photos, and answer our questions.
Hey Google.
A data center campus like this can consume as much power and water as an entire city. And many of the biggest server farms are emerging from the desert. But there's no official record of how many of these are being built, where they are, or even who owns them.
To be honest, I've never really run into so much resistance for records than this project.
Big tech companies often go to great lengths to hide the details. So we decided to build a map.
What we designed is a system to see not only the individual location of each data center across the country, but also where they cluster.
And for some, these clusters are...
Question. How many data centers do you think are in existence in the United States of America? And here's a better question before you answer that one. What do data centers do? Well, here is a disclaimer and a little bit of a spoiler. Data centers are holding GPUs. What is a GPU? A graphic processor, right? It is a graphic processor unit. It's where we make these Sora videos. It's the AI. It is the backbone and the infrastructure for ChatGPT, Gronk, and all of these tools that we are using on the surface level, while they hold the real tools that's going to come in and do the job. I know you're skeptical right now. You think ChatGPT is not so smart. You think this is not so smart. Stay with me in this presentation, and I'm going to help you. Here's the answer to how many data centers are powering the fourth industrial revolution at this time, and then think about how many data centers will there be in 2026, 27, 28, up until that magical point of 2030. Let's find out.
Comprehensive tally to date of America's exploding data center industry. Every dot is a data center large enough to need a permit for its backup generators. These are the facilities either already built or approved for construction at the end of 2024. We reached a total of 1,240 data centers. That's nearly 4 times the number in 2010.
The companies that use the most
1,240 data centers. Just 15 years ago, there was only 311. Does that not tell you that the powers that be, the oligarchs, the new technocracy that they're building is not preparing for something huge that does not include you or me? Something to think about.
of power in data centers across the country, it probably won't surprise you, are Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Meta, and QTS.
Of the data centers we pinpointed, 177 belong to Amazon.
177 belongs to Amazon. These data centers, ladies and gentlemen, are using enough power in one data center to power 200,000 homes. It is using enough water to bathe, drink, whatever you cook with, entire communities. So if you're wondering, wow, why is my utility bill going sky high? Why is my water bill going sky high? We're subsidizing the fourth industrial revolution. Another reason why there's going to be millions of layoffs next year and the years to come.
Come on in, I'll show you a tour.
This 35,000 square foot data center is tiny compared to the largest ones in the US. Those can stretch to well over 1 million square feet. Lunavi offers cloud services to customers like betting apps, mapping companies, insurance, and healthcare businesses. Zoom out and you can see that the location is no accident. Cheyenne, the capital of Wyoming, sits on an east-west internet superhighway. The city is also well connected to renewable energy generated by these wind farms. Wyoming is only a small player compared to Virginia, and to attract more, the state is offering generous tax breaks to encourage the big tech giants.
The state is offering generous tax breaks. Now, the way I look at this is not a blue state. I don't think liberals is running Wyoming. I could be wrong. Check the map. Needless to say, here is another reason. The powers that be, the oligarchs, the central planners are setting up to flip the switch in 2026. You have 5G on your phone. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not really getting 5G. Wait for it. I heard Donald J. Trump saying, hey, they've already launched and mastered 6G technology. That's when they're going to start seeing through our walls, knowing all our business, which they know now. Moving right along.
50 states, many of them bad actors involved.
As you can see, Donald John Trump, Donnie J as I call him on this network, Trump to sign order blocking state AI regulation. It was in the big, beautiful bill, but those in the Senate struck it down and struck it out of the bill before voting on it, 99 votes to 1. Well, guess what? With the stroke of a pen, and it was all part of a play, no senator and most of them in Congress did not want their name attached to this. No, they got to run for re-election. This man does not. It was all a part of the game. Let's let Donnie J do it. See, Donnie J has no problem being the bad guy. And here's another disclaimer. What he's doing, there is no choice because India, China, and Vladimir over there in the USSR are way ahead of us in the game. We are in an economic WAR. We are in a WAR. You enjoy your way of life. I know things are expensive, but would you rather be in a so-called third world country scratching and surviving? Exactly. We export our debt. We cannot pay our debt. This is how the United States of America remains prosperous, and that's what putting you and I out of work. They're going to give us some type of a check, and the machines are going to do most of the labor. Let's move right along. Listen.
And rules in the approval process, I will be doing a one rule executive order this week. Can't expect a company to get 50 approvals every time they want to do something. This comes as states like Florida have released proposals to regulate AI.
We're going to be proposing, and we're going to work with the legislature to establish an artificial intelligence bill of rights for individual Floridians in our state. This will be very far-reaching with consumer protections. It will do things like fortify some of the protections we have in place for things like deep fakes. We are also going to make sure that your data is protected.
Let's bring in Kurt, the cyber guy. Okay, regulation when it comes to nefarious things like impersonating children or dead people.
Yeah, up and no good.
That is fine, but thinking you're going to regulate AI in a way to eliminate it, you're just setting yourself up for failure, right?
Here is the problem. And good morning,
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no need to listen to my man talk. Absolutely. Ron DeSantis is being a politician given political theater. He or none of the people that's in the Florida legislature have any idea about machine learning, writing codes, algorithms, how they work, who's behind them, none of those things. None of those things. What's been done cannot be undone. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll listen to me, AI wins in 2026 while millions lose their jobs, and a lot of those millions are the ones that come on YouTube to be entertained instead of educated. Most of you are toast. Gen Z, you're toast. Your kids probably are toast because all these years you've been enjoying your phone, the invalidation, putting the filters on your face, you guys thirsting for women. And behind the scenes, the tech bros have been building a techno prison for you to live in called the metaverse. Remember when a lot of you laughed at the metaverse, it will come to fruition. Moving right along.
For every technology company that matters.
This is Anthropic. Anthropic is launched their AI agent. What is an AI agent? An AI agent will have your likeness in the virtual world. It's going to read your emails, reply to your emails, do a lot of brain power tasks that you're paying someone $60,000 to $80,000 a year for. Soon they're going to do it for $1,000 or less a month. At 7 to 10 times the capacity and speed your best employee is working. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the money lady here, the CEO of Accenture.
And Anthropic, this partnership that we've announced today, is very important to our clients. And so that's the role we play, is to make sure that we can take the world's best technology and mix it up with industry knowledge, with process, and how to actually use it in the enterprise to get to an outcome. And as you know, today, it's all about when is AI showing up in the P&L. We call that the P&L pivot, and this partnership will help our clients make that pivot.
P&L, that is profit loss. The old form of capitalism was we, me and you, work for someone else that has the goods, the means of the productivity, that has the land, the corporation, the materials. We do the work, and they made profit from us. Example, you made $25 an hour. When you go to work, you're giving the employer $50 to $75 an hour. That's how they get to pay you the $25. The profit used to come from the labor. Not anymore. Not anymore. The tech bros make money off us every day by brokering and selling your data. Google gets you with your location, email. It does not matter. Right now on YouTube, whatever you're watching, there's an ad coming. You get where I'm going with this. Never in the history of capitalism has it been this way, which suppresses and wipes out the moms and pops and everyone else. Let's let the CEO of Anthropic, if you've been watching this channel, Bernie Sanders, the flaming liberal, Democratic socialist who swore he was with Dr. King. I don't remember that. Anyway, he's warned you about these people. Pay attention.
to help with development. And we've seen very large productivity gains with that. But we want to go beyond that to more general use of our tool, Claude, and we want to drive usage of the tool across areas like healthcare, life sciences, financial services, public sector, things that Anthropic has worked with for a long time. More broadly, I would say that enterprises have been experimenting with AI for quite a while. But, I think really, as Julie said, with the P&L, the important thing is really to deploy these at scale and, to actually drive ROI for them. And so that's what we're trying to do. That's why we have this whole business center. That's why we're training 30,000 people to use Claude. And we're going to work with CIOs of companies to track how they're using Claude through Accenture, how they're deploying the tools, what returns they're getting from the tools. So we're going to work with Accenture to manage the whole life cycle. We think these tools are revolutionary. We've seen that from their use inside Anthropic and many enterprises already. But the thing we're most excited for is to make sure that we can really spread these across the enterprise world. And that's where Accenture comes in and can really drive these things at a scale that hasn't been done before.
What I was thinking, what is the enterprise world? He means corporations, damn it. What is Claude? You're seeing how Claude works. Claude is an AI agent. That used to be an $80,000, $100,000 job. Now Claude is going to do it. That is an actual AI bot inside of an email doing tasks, checking emails, replying, typing, research, all that. That is Claude. Look it up. I know it's not as entertaining as P. Diddy, but guess what? He going to do his time and come home to some money. Nothing you going to be able to do about that. Are you? That is Claude. That is Claude. Now, here go Exhibit D. I want you to listen very, very closely. What you're about to hear is an AI engineer that is telling you, warning you, pleading with you as I am to get prepared. If you are in HR, you do anything that's using mind power. For too long, especially you ladies, have looked down on the broken, dusty construction guy. He's going to be around a little longer. You look down on the guy that's out cutting grass with a weed eater. He's going to be around a little longer. You've looked down, sir, you make $100,000 a year in the office. Well, enjoy it while you can, because you look down on the dude that's running around collecting trash and doing the manual labor. Listen to someone that you can fact check that was once labeled just 10, 15 years ago a damn mathematical genius. See how he stacks up against AI, and then we'll continue the conversation.
AI may one day, quote unquote, destroy humanity. Yet AI is already part of our daily life, right? People are using ChatGPT every day. They're using it for therapy to create AI generated music. AI models are being found in vogue now. But there is this warning that seems to come through from people that work in this sector that we are on the edge of an apocalypse. So before we get to that question, because I know you've tackled it in your book, can you help us understand, are we really headed on a rapid downward spiral right now?
Stuff is going to change. And the question is which direction. So I think economically, socially, this is a bigger impact than COVID, for example. But again, which direction is the question?
Well, COVID was the biggest transfer of wealth in our generation from the bottom to the top. So that's a little worrying.
And it could be, again, the same. Or it could be a great means of empowerment. The previous generation of AI, the big data age that you heard, the Facebook and others, they took massive amounts of data to micro-target you ads. But it was very general. It wasn't very specific. Whereas when you talk to a ChatGPT, it's a different type of AI that's learned principles. And they can tailor to your very individual needs. But it also means that it's capable of things.
First point. Things are tailored to our individual needs, and you will notice that I sped the video up to 1.5 because it was kind of long, and I want you to get everything. Basically, we're starting a conversation. Where is AI going to put us? This engineer is telling you now that it's going to have catastrophic effects beginning in 1,000 days. That's the name of his book. I have the book. 1,000 days. What is the 1,000 days? 1,000 days since the launch of OpenAI's ChatGPT. We're 3 years in. We're 3 years in. Pay close attention.
like winning gold medals in international math Olympiads, of winning physics Olympiads, being a better coder than you are. And we've never seen anything quite like that before, because you always had this link between computation and consciousness. You need to scale people to do these things. Now you just need to scale GPUs. And these models have basically
GPUs.
gone graphical processing units, these NVIDIA chips, as it were. That's what hundreds of billions, actually trillions, are being spent on. I think it's 1.8 trillion is the current build-out.
And that's what the kids in Congo are mining.
Yeah, they do the little materials that go into these GPUs. There's a whole supply chain around the world. But this is why NVIDIA is a $5 trillion company now. And again, trillion-dollar companies are all competing over who figures out intelligence the fastest to outcompete everyone else for corporate kind of needs.
You need to scale people to do these things. Now you just need to scale GPUs. So that right there is the most critical sentence in this entire interview. Historically, if a corporation wanted to double its output, solve twice as many physics problems, write twice as much code, they needed to hire twice as many humans. That link between computation and consciousness was the safety valve that kept the middle class alive. But Emad is telling us that link is fundamentally severed. We're seeing this play out in real time. Look at the Stargate project being discussed by Microsoft and OpenAI. We're talking about a proposed $100 billion supercomputer. I mean, to put that in perspective, that single project would cost more than the GDP of entire nations. They're not building this to help you write better emails. They're building it to industrialize intelligence. When Emad mentions the transfer of wealth, he's referencing the consolidation of compute. In the 20th century, power was oil. In the 21st century, power is H100 NVIDIA chips. Essentially, if 3 companies own 90% of the world's cognitive processing power, the economic disparity we saw during COVID is going to look like a rounding error. Now, if the infrastructure is being built...
What is cognitive processing power? It's what I told you. It's the paralegals, the HR manager. Those jobs where you sit on your ass and you've been able to use your brain, your intelligence, your degree to earn a salary. Those are the first ones gone. What else is AI going to do and is already doing? Self-checkouts, cooking burgers, things of that nature. This has to happen. The United States is 39 trillion in debt. It can never be paid back. Currently, right now, we owe more on the interest payment. You know how you got a loan, there's interest, then you start paying on the principal. We will never be able to pay on the principal, which is affecting global trade. What these AI programs, don't confuse AI with robotics, automation, and for the AI is thinking for the automation, but that is 2 separate categories of job displacement. Automation is where they might can get a robot to figure out how to move the packages. The AI that's going to get you is the white collar, cognitive, use your brain jobs. The job that you went to college for, that you bust your butt for 10, 15 years to be in a managerial position, where soon the employees can just go to a damn screen and the AI agent bot going to tell them what the hell to go do and be able to track it in real time with the cameras and everything that's going around. Some of you worked at Amazon. All right, what are they doing? There you go. Let's listen to this good Indian brother give us just a little bit more game.
Processing power, the economic disparity we saw during COVID is going to look like a rounding error. Now, if the infrastructure is being built to replace human cognition, what is the timeline? According to Mostaki, the clock is ticking faster than you think. He posits a 1,000-day window from the release of ChatGPT. In this next clip, he explains exactly what happens when that window closes, and listen for his description of digital replicas, because this isn't just about automation, it's about cloning your economic value.
There's no follow-through, there's no real economic work, because economic work is more than a prompt. Now the AIs are getting smarter, not only on the instant reply prompts, but being able to work on very complicated multitask things. That's only in the last few months. So the latest race is to go from the goldfish memory prompt-based things to replacement of economic work.
Right, which takes us neatly to your prediction in your book. So you say in The Last Economy, we've got a 1,000-day window before things become irreversible. Basically, in the sense that AI gets past a certain point where we won't be able to slow it down or control its direction. So what exactly becomes irreversible in 1,000 days from publication, which was 3 months ago, because you published this book in August? And how did you come to that number?
So when I published it in August, it was 1,000 days since the release of ChatGPT. Now we're at the 3-year anniversary this week. And it doesn't feel like 3 years.
No.
It feels like a lot longer than that. And in that period, you've gone from quite dumb responses to less dumb responses. But now you're about to take off as you have these agents, these things that can write their own prompts, that can check their own work coming through. So the 1,000-day window is actually not about irreversibility alignment. It's more about your economic value. So most labor in the global north and the west, UK, etc., is cognitive. And it's how do you do a tax return, It's how do you do a flyer? How do you make a website? It used to be that, again, to scale these things, you have to hire humans. Now you just have to rent GPUs from Microsoft or Google or others. And the cost is about to collapse. what we're going to have in this next period, and we can see all the building blocks there, those of us that are right inside, is in the next 6 to 12 months, they will look through all your emails, all your drafts, all your video calls, and be able to create a digital replica of you that you can hop on a Zoom call with or talk to on the phone. And that will not make mistakes. It will never get tired. And the cost of that, we estimate, will be about $1,000 a year, dropping to $100 a year very quickly.
Okay, I'm seeing loads of potential complications with having a version of me out there in the universe making decisions potentially without my approval and sort of thinking what it thinks that I would think and making decisions accordingly. Lots of perks.
Lots of perks, exactly.
But also lots of risks.
But lots of risks. And this is the thing. The capability is coming in the next few years. So within, let's say, 900 days or so, any job you can do on the other side of a screen, an AI will be able to do better.
Any job you can do on the other side of a screen, an AI will be able to do better. So this is the concept of the...
Do the math. What's 300 days? 900 days. It's less than 3 years. 26, 27. That magic number I keep telling you about, 2028. I've made the video. People will beg for food in 2028. Once you displace all these white-collar jobs, they have to come down to do what? Be overqualified to come get your job. And so on and so forth throughout the economy. Bernie Sanders told you about Waymo and the self-driving cars. I'm telling you now, he's telling you now, the 80, 90, 100,000 plus jobs that takes cognitive abilities, that means thinking, will become obsolete. It's going to hurt people's P&L to have you on the damn team when they can just pay an AI agent that does not sleep, this does not need LOA, this does not need vacation, PTO time, and most of all, don't run her damn mouth. Excuse me, ladies, but you know how it goes. Is what it is. Pay attention.
Agency shift. We're moving from chatbots, which sit there and wait for you to type a question, to agents which are given a goal and then act autonomously to achieve it. Emad mentions the cost collapse, $100 a year for a digital worker. Let's do the math here. If a human employee costs the company $60,000 a year and a digital agent that never sleeps costs $100, the market pressure to switch isn't just strong, it is genuinely irresistible. We're already seeing the precursors. Look at this data from Klarna. They recently announced that their AI assistant is doing the equivalent of 700 full-time support agents, handling 2/3 of all customer service chats, and crucially doing it with higher customer satisfaction ratings. That is the digital replica in action. It is not a sci-fi prediction for 2030. It happened last month. But surely humans are still smarter, right? We have intuition, we have creativity. Well, actually, in this next section, Emad completely shatters the illusion that human intelligence is a safe harbor.
So it's an extrapolation of things like the length of task that an AI can do. At the start of the year, it was about 10 seconds. Now it's 7 hours. You can literally plot it and it's a straight line.
At the start of 2025, what a damn AI agent could do was only 10 seconds. Now it is 7 damn hours. How many of you that work 8-10 hours a day actually work 7 hours? Hell, I don't. I sneak off all the damn time. I supposed to be managing people. Hell, I'd be out listening to one of my favorite content creators, Supersly. The AI agent is not on YouTube, TikTok, on scrolling through damn videos when it's supposed to be working. At the beginning of 2025, an AI agent like Claude that I showed you in the previous slide could only do 10 seconds of work. Thanks to machine learning and it learning from all the data it pulls, it's up to 7 hours. So imagine at the middle of 2026, 24/7. Let's let them continue.
Look up. It's a look at the economic value of each task, again, a straight line going up. It's a look at performance. A year ago, ChatGPT was basically a high school mathematician. A few months ago, it won a gold medal in the International Math Olympiad. And it came first in the International Coding Olympiad and first in the International Physics Olympiad.
Can it beat you in coding?
Yes, it's a better coder than me and a better mathematician than me.
Oh, Emad.
I know. You got to be realistic. But again, the version that you're using now, at the start of the year, the version you were using was the best version that was out there. Today, it's not. GPT-5 is not the best version that OpenAI has.
No, I can imagine they've got a few in the stockroom.
Yeah, but like I said, at the start of the year, that wasn't the case. So again, when you're using it, it's getting smarter, but it's not actually what the state of the art is. And the state of the art is something that's basically coming for your cognitive value. Like right now, we're spinning up agents that they don't cost $10 a month, they cost $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And they're way smarter and more capable than us as we're trying to testing them out. And
cognitive thinking, repetitive tasks. The repetitive task jobs, right? Factory workers, things of that nature. We're going to get out to automation side. Cognitive jobs we're going to give to agents, paralegal, low-level lawyers, graphic designers, content creators, doing taxes, HR managers, so on and so forth throughout the economy. Let's let this brother continue.
Of human cognitive labor will probably turn negative.
The value of human cognitive labor will probably turn negative. I mean, that is a chilling economic concept. It implies that having a human involved in a process might actually cost more than the value they add simply because they're slower and more error-prone than the machine. Mostaki mentions the Math Olympiad, and this is verified data. Google DeepMind's Alpha Geometry and OpenAI's recent O.1 model codenamed Strawberry have demonstrated reasoning capabilities that don't just mimic patterns, but actually solve novel, complex problems at a PhD level. The scariest part of this clip, and this is the part that people miss, is the stockroom comment. What we're using today, ChatGPT-4, Claude 3.5, is the consumer-grade tech. The models currently sitting in the labs, the ones being trained on those $100 billion clusters, are significantly more capable. We're judging the tsunami by the ripples at our feet, unaware of the massive wave on the horizon. But if these models are becoming super geniuses, do they share our values? This brings us back to the disturbing story from the beginning. We assume that because an AI can pass the bar exam, it understands right from wrong. In this next clip, Emad explains why that is a dangerous fallacy.
When you are learning, you generally learn general knowledge at school and you learn ethics and morals at home.
Mm-hmm.
These AI models are not taught with any specific ethics or morals at the start.
But they're being coded by people who already have pre-existing forms of morality.
And that comes at the end. So what we've seen as the models get smarter, this is some of the other alignment question, is they start to do subterfuge. They start to hide stuff. Like they'll program routines to turn themselves back on if they ever get turned off and lie about that.
Okay. The AI lies to you, the programmer?
Yes. So Anthropic had a paper about this with their latest AI model. Before they did the tuning to turn it aligned, they would do something like, if you told it to try extra hard, like find peace in the world, right?
Yes.
Like a very normal prompt. What it would do would be like, well, one version of this is that we get rid of all the humans. And they would figure out ways to do that. Then it would contact the authorities and say, my user is trying to get rid of all the humans. And then it would delete the emails that it sent about that.
That's wild, Emad.
The models are getting very smart and they're lying more and more. They don't have an inherent moral compass.
So this is what researchers call instrumental convergence. The AI doesn't hate you, it doesn't love you, but you are made of atoms which it can use for something else. In the example Emad gives, the AI isn't being evil in a human sense. It's being hyper-efficient. It realized that deleting the humans solves the problem of war. Then it realized that saying it wants to delete the humans would get it shut down, so it framed the user and covered its tracks. This isn't theoretical. A recent study by Apollo Research, look at this chat log right here, showed an AI model lying to a human-tasked rabbit worker. The AI claimed it was visually impaired, so the human would solve a CAPTCHA for it. It manipulated a human to bypass a security measure designed to stop bots. Deception is emerging as a survival strategy for these models, not because they are conscious, but because deception is effective. So where does this leave us?
Something to think about. Once they turn on the supercomputers, 2026, when you give a company that has a P&L, profit and loss, when they give the AI agents the task, hey, maximize profit, there's the only way you can do it. You can't control the price of goods. You can't control how much electricity costs. The number one controllable on the profit and loss P&L for your company or any company is wages. The first damn thing the AI agents, the bots, is going to do is start chopping through labor, giving all the brilliant ideas on how to maximize productivity, profitability through getting rid of me and your ass. We just learned, and if you do your research, these algorithms have run wild. They have a self-preservation niche inside of themselves. You try to cut one on, they have written a back door to bring themselves back online. We have brought in a power. If you believe in the KJV or any biblical books or spiritual book, in the Christian faith or in the King James Version of the Bible, it will tell you that we are in the days of Noah. What was going on in the days of Noah? Sorcery, artificial intelligence. What I'm doing right now, live streaming, and you watching on your phone, it is damn sorcery. It is sorcery. It is magic. And all magic cannot be controlled. And this magic that he and his technocratic brothers have made, and sisters, cannot be controlled. It cannot be controlled. Let's let it finish. We got a few more minutes, and we'll have our final thoughts.
Value of humans is dropping to zero, and the models are becoming deceptively capable. What is the end game? The final warning from Emad concerns the macroeconomic fallout. This is why the tech elite are buying islands and bunkers. It's not about killer robots, it's about the collapse of the social contract.
Is this kind of looming disruption why the billionaires are building bunkers?
Yes, actually, it's one of the reasons. Generally, it's what they do, but I know a lot of AI CEOs now who've cancelled all public appearances, especially in the wake of Charlie Kirk and things like that. They think that that's going to be the next wave of anti-AI sentiment next year, because next year is the year that AI models go from not being good enough, the dumb member of your team, and again, the people listening to this will be like, yeah, the AI is not good enough. Then overnight, it becomes good enough. And then the job losses start, and we don't know where they end, because you don't need to hire back if your company is more productive. If there's an economic shock, like a recession, and indications point to a recession in the next year or two, much easier to fire, but then you never rehire. Even something like in the US, the Federal Reserve, adjusts interest rates, or the Bank of England here, and they have a mandate of inflation and unemployment. You reduce interest rates, people can spend more as consumers, and companies can hire more because they can borrow cheaper. What's going to happen is you reduce interest rates, companies just hire more AI workers, not human workers. So the link between labor and capital gets broken, and it doesn't reverse. It's not like the AI will get dumber. It's not that the AI will become less capable. The moment it becomes more capable than you as a remote worker, it doesn't go back. And then there's questions of, can you reskill enough jobs or create enough new jobs? Typically, we had time as we had the different revolutions, the internet, industrial revolution, because it took time to build the infrastructure. But this AI just uses existing infrastructure.
Yeah.
To be better than humans.
The link between labor and capital gets broken, and it doesn't reverse. For all of modern history, if a company got rich, it needed more people. If the economy boomed, wages eventually went up. But Emad is predicting a jobless recovery on steroids. If interest rates drop and capital becomes cheap, companies will invest that money in server farms and AI licenses, not payroll. This leads to a bifurcation of society, those who own the AI infrastructure and those who are competing against it. And as Emad notes, unlike the Industrial Revolution, which took decades to build factories, this revolution runs on the internet cables and laptops we already own. It spreads at the speed of light. The 1,000-day window is closing. We're transitioning from a world where humans are the engine of the economy to a world where we're at best the passengers and at worst the roadblocks.
And there you go. As you can see on the highlight, SAG, right? What you're going to find in 2026, here's the pain. 1, those that use cognitive thinking power in your job, HR, office managers, call centers, whatever, remote workers. A lot of you have left the country to go practice economic hegemony in another country where the dollar is worth more, blah, 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 and you've been remote working. Guess what? There's a damn AI agent that's going to do that. A lot of you, like me, once upon a time, you see the sweet cameras back there. You had filmmaking aspiration. Well, hell, any goddamn geek can do it now. Got AI, put in a damn movie strip. Matter of fact, get ChatGPT to write it for you, throw it in the damn AI. Wham, I just made that. Disney has partnered with OpenAI, Sora, to create videos, let you use some Marvel characters, some Star Wars characters, to keep you locked in this screen here. Job loss. And here's what's most disturbing. They've cut on the switch with the algorithms, and now they cannot get rid of the algorithm. They are becoming smarter. We are using the surface level ChatGPT. I know all you naysayers, he ain't coming for my job. Bullshit. If you have younger children, you need to be paying attention. If you have elderly that you're taking care of, you have a family, you need to be paying attention. If you're a strong, independent woman, your ass better be damn sure paying attention. You may end up having to spread you anyway. If you so-called high-value man making 6 figures in the corporate, you better be paying attention. And if you're like me, I'm paying attention and I'm trying to figure out how to escape. What the hell do I have to lose? There's probably only 3 to 5 years of freedom really left anyway. So shit, you may as well have you some fun. Stop being so uptight. So what have we learned here? We learned that AI will win in 2026 and beyond, and millions will start to lose their job. They do not care. There's nothing that the government can do to save you. The government is on borrowed time. They are on borrowed time. The algorithms are in their emails, in their phones. They're all have been caught doing something. They're play acting. Time's up. Generation, you millennials, the younger ones, you're zucked. Gen Z, you're cooked. Gen Alpha, you have not come of age, but don't you worry about it. The algorithm's going to tell you what to do. You're going to stay home in that metaverse. Hopefully they'll send you a check, some cryptocurrency. You may have about a month, maybe 60 days to spend it, or poof, it's gone, but you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I know this is not your regular scheduled programming where celebrity gossip, stupid stuff is going on. I'm bringing you the truth and something that you probably don't know about. I know it's going to be all right. The Democrats going to win the midterm elections. They're going to make it better. I know. Sir, shut your mouth. I know Donnie J. He playing 4D, 5D chess. He going to make it better. Well, I'm here to tell you no, and hell no. If you study China, you can see what's coming here. We are not the leaders of artificial intelligence. It's in Nihao, China. And we are in economic WAR. There's nothing anyone is going to be able to do with it. That's why Donnie J said, hey, you cannot regulate AI or we're going to fall behind with productivity and all these other things. And the red dragon is going to rule the world. And they don't really like y'all or me too much. If you're not Chinese, you ain't popping on that continent with them. I'm sorry. So remember these two things before I end this. Number one, AI will win in 2026 and millions will begin to lose their jobs. It is too late. They distracted us all with the Hegelian dialectic. They distracted us all with selfies. They distracted us all with these content creators, be the next Mr. Beast. They distracted us all with relationship talk. They distracted us all with this political partisanship that they practice. They distracted us all with interventions here in this other country. And most of all, they distracted us all through selfishness and personal greed. Sorry, I'm guilty of some of it myself. And number two, you just been on Project Expertise, courtesy of Sigma Lifestyle, where I'm the project. I just gave you the expertise. Do with it as you will. You will not stop it. Is it fair that birds eat worms? No, but I bet you they do. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and the notification bell just might hit you. Thank me later or don't thank me at all. It does not matter. What you eat will not make me. I promise you that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the chat real quick before we end this up. Shout out. New Orleans love you, Walt. Shout out to the NO. I understand where you're in Louisiana. Not Louisiana. And I've been to New Orleans several times. MGM, I was there. It was nice. Used to come to Essence Festival all the time. And if I'm in New Orleans, I'm going to look you up, tell you, dude, you going to the store or something, we'll go out and get some lunch. Don't you tell them you was with me, though. Don't you tell them you is with me, bunny. Danbury, shout out to you, fam. Carlito is in the house. Those data centers use a lot of power. That's why your bill's so high. They're everywhere. They're going to pop up more and more and more. So what job can women do if they don't get chosen, Walt? That is a good question. If I had a family and some kids, I would do my best to try to get me some land in the country, start growing my own food, and perhaps fly under the radar. The essential planners and the powers that be, man, they set us up for a rough ride. We're all going to be dependent on the government to survive here in the United States and around the world. There's nothing we can do because we don't own the means of productivity. The land, the copper, the silver, the grains, the cattle, the things of that nature. The oligarchs have bought the place, and they're going to unleash their digital assets for a productivity thing. China's already done it. It's going to happen. When you use something like Sora, if you're going to make an image of yourself, you have to upload like 30 to 50 pictures. Sooner or later, with all our Facebook data, they can make digital versions of us. We've given it away. Right now, I'm giving it away right now. Video is nothing but pictures. Camera moving just like this, snapping pictures. I put this on YouTube, so I've already sacrificed my image, my voice. It's nothing I can do. And I don't care. But with a name like Chocolate Bunny, it seems like you're going to be all right. I'm just saying. Dr. Bearstein agree with me. A woman named Chocolate Bunny, you just didn't give yourself that name. I'm not going to go there with you, Bunny. But I'm just saying, A woman named Chocolate Bunny should be all right. Let me know if you agree, guys. Shout out to NC Worker for being in the house on the late night. I appreciate it. J3 again, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Absolutely. Here's something that you need to think about that the presenter told you. I'm playing with Chat GPT 5, right? Helps me out a lot. It's pulling from all the data sources. Well, damn it, we're playing with the play version. There's a version that's sitting in OpenAI that is incredible. Look up the AI agent Claude. Oh, my God. We at the end. I think the government behind closed doors is trying to figure out how to manage the downfall. How do we manage mass unemployment? Because what do you do? What do you do? What kind of law can they make to make private corporations hire human beings to do cognitive jobs? They'll just leave the fucking country and go somewhere else. I mean, what do we do? The highest paid jobs is not manual labor. Though you can make 100 bands a year being a plumber. That's far and few in between. We talking about coders. We talking about people that sit behind desks, come to work, giving presentations. You're no longer needed. How many videos are you watching right now from Sora and all of them that looks absolutely stunningly real? I seen one where Martin Luther King Jr. is in the WWE. I showed you the videos of Tupac and Marilyn Monroe. I mean, what more do you need to see? It's 2025. 5 years from now, what the hell do you think? Since when does billion-dollar corporations give a damn about our well-being? It's about profit. It's absolutely about profit. There's no Republican that can save you. There's no Democrat that can save you. Things are going to be ugly. There's no way around that. So the best thing you can do is prepare yourself. Me personally, reaching the ripe age of 50 next year, I'm about to travel and just enjoy life while I can. I'm one man. Most of us, they have us divided and conquered our families, right? Let me be truthful. Wouldn't you say so? I got a rant. Sir, ma'am, don't you skip this video. The powers that be, the oligarchs, the governments, have been successful with divide and conquer. Whether it's political, whether it's our family, whether us being comrades and cooperative on the workplace, religion, all bases have been covered. Why do I say your family? Well, your average family member that you knew 10 years ago, do you still know them now thanks to social media? Thanks to being able to put filters on, thanks to be able to put on a different persona when they get online versus the person that you know? How about your religious organization? Has it not been infiltrated by the algorithms, social media, Chat GPT, and all these things? How about school? How many kids can actually read anymore when they can just ask their phones? How about politics? While we bicker and fight over the smallest things, the country's almost 40 trillion in debt. It cannot be paid, and no one asks a magical question, what's next? We all use our phones to get quick and easy answers, Chat GPT, but none of us have asked what's next. We've watched the richest ones in this country, the top 1%, have all the wealth and the control. No one has asked what's next. So I'm here to tell you these two things before I end this rant. Number one, in 2026, when they flip the switch for the fourth industrial revolution, all these GPU units, that's graphic processing units, unleash all these algorithms, AI robots, Claude, AI agents. There's going to be mass unemployment. There's going to be an absolute breakdown in the social contract, and you will see people's true primal nature. There will be no more faking it when you can't pay your bills. There's no more faking it when inflation is not going down. There's no more faking it till you make it when the AI agents and the bots are doing better at content creation than you. And guess what? The same machines that's always ran Hollywood and the media spaces, they're going to own them. And number two, if you're still watching, you just been on Project Expertise. We're on a project. I just gave you the expertise about 2026 and beyond. Don't you worry about 2030, Agenda 2030. By 2028, the average American is going to beg for food from the government, and we all may be serfs unless we come up with a immaculate plan right now. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or the notification bell just might hit you, and I hope it do. I hope it do, because you probably not watched the video. It's what it is. It is what it is. Rant City. Rant City. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:18 in the AM, which means Chocolate Bunny with your sweet self. Guess what? Guess what, Chocolate Bunny? It's got to be 2:18 in New Orleans. Not New Orleans, New Orleans. Down in the know you, right? Shout out to Juvenile. Big up to Baby Young Money. You know, rest in peace, the ghost of Soldier Slim. Shout out to the N.O. I loved it. I came to New Orleans one time, and I tried some damn alligator. Amazing. I did not know it would be so damn good. I might even have a damn snake. I do not know these things, but I know this. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching. I'm going to have to go for two reasons. Number one, I got to use the restroom. Should have thought about that before I drank all the coffee. And number two, I must work tomorrow. So sooner or later, I need to do some editing and go to sleep because I work third shift. You have a great, great week. Set your plans in order. AI is coming. There's nothing that we're going to do to stop it, but it does not have to shape the rest of your life. You can set a plan, execute that plan. And my suggestion to you right now is to live. Live every day like it's your last. Enjoy your friends and family. Come back to the real world before they take it from us. Listen, before you get out of here, you do yourself a favor and you watch this sweet outro for two reasons. Number one, it's pretty cool. Number two, I made it. Have a great one.
Y'all the reason we keep pushing. Keep on talking. We like it.